Jody Ann, popping into your earbuds saying hello. Got my coffee, it's actually half empty, but it took me a bit to set up to record for you today. So, how are you? It's been a lot, hey? I'm finding this full moon is not quite as crazy as the last one. The energy is building, but I feel like because we're just coming out of Halloween or Samhain, however you want to call it, the witch's new year, that it's a bit more ease and flow. Like we really left some stuff behind when we went through this kind of portal that is Halloween. In case you don't know, the witch's wheel of the year has 4 major holidays. There is the winter solstice and the summer solstice, which is December 21st-ish and June 21st-ish, right? The longest and the shortest day of the year. Then the halfway points on the other side of the wheel are Mabon or May days and Samhain or Halloween. So Halloween is actually the witch's new year and super spooky season. We all love it. It's my favorite season. It's a time of letting go and releasing and burning it all down. There's so many festivals around fire and burning and letting go and releasing. And I really feel like that's why we have this tradition across many cultures of spookiness, because we can feel that veil being thin. Now here we are, the first full moon. It's not really Halloween season. A lot of people have put away their ghouls and goblins, but we're still in that energy where the veil is thin. We're still in that energy where we are wrapping up and moving through. And a lot of you may have found the podcast during the spooky season because there's a big push for witchy stuff. So welcome. Welcome to the Earbud Coven. I'm Jody Ann. I have 25 years experience or more sitting across tables with people, reading cards, channeling messages for them. I'm a self-identified witch. I have been on this spiraling path since I was 17, which is quite a long time ago now. I want to bring you my experience. I want to bring my wealth of knowledge to you to help you grow and to help you expand. One of the things I like to talk about is the wheel of the year and how the energies and phases and stages affect us and the energy we're in and flowing through. I'm going to be doing messages and channeling for the collective using cards. Today I'm actually using Oracle cards just because, I don't know, I'm in the mood for it. I usually use tarot. If you want a message or if you want a question you have or an issue you want to have channeled information on as part of the show, you can reach out to me. You can reach me on Instagram at The Witching Half Hour or so. You can reach me through Facebook. We have an Earbud Coven Facebook group that you can message me on, and you can also reach me through my website on the Connect With Me page, and the website is jodyanpsychicmedium.com. Today I'm going to read for the collective. I feel like this full moon is an emotional one. It's not quite as intense as the ones we were having around the eclipses in September, but it still feels like really big feels. I wanted to reach through this thin veil and talk with fairy energy. So the deck I'm using is the Faeries Oracle deck. It's a great deck. A couple of my witchy friends also have this deck. I don't often use oracle decks, but this is one I quite like. The energy, the channel through it is really earthy and really beautiful. So I wanted to channel a little bit for you guys and get some messages. And I'm not sure if we're going to do more than one today. If we're going to do multiple messages, we'll see how it comes through as we connect. For now, I think what I want to start with and what I'm feeling drawn to read about is the idea of those of you who are new. Those of you who are new or maybe have been really drawn to spirituality. I'm feeling pulled to read for the baby witches out there. And you may not even identify yet as a witch, but those of you who are seeing all this on your feed and really feeling like pulled to examine this more earth-based, embodied, feminine way of worshiping or way of walking through the world. Those of you who feel your intuition tugging at the corners of your mind all the time and are new to this path. I feel like there's messages, ooh, there's one. I feel like there's messages for you today, and I feel like that's what we're going to use these oracle cards to get some insight on. Okay, so these are the cards you pulled. Now the first one did pop out, and that is the collection of Pixies. And what I want to say to you about this card, please, is I feel like there have been subtle signs telling you you were on your right path. There have been subtle signs, and you're getting to the point where the collection of these coincidences, the amount of coincidences you are having is getting loud enough that you can't really ignore it anymore. So I'm here to tell you, I'm in your feed to tell you, I'm on your radar to tell you that that little sparkling idea you have that these are signs, they are, my love. There is a whole collection of spirit guides, of pixies. There is a whole collection working to give you the validation of your intuition. They've been sending you the signals. They've been giving you the deja vus. They've been giving you the eagles flying. They've been giving you the feathers on your doorstep. They've been giving you the dimes that you've been seeing. And it's time for you to accept that. They're working very, very hard to give you the signs. And what you need to do, my love, is to take this idea of what it's supposed to look like off the table and actually look at the signs you're getting. It's a culmination of signs. It's a building up of signs. There's a lot of spirit energy trying to get your attention. And it's not with a message. What they're trying to tell you is that, yes, trust that thing. Trust that gut feeling. Trust that inkling you have. Trust that intuitive hit you get. Please stop questioning it. Open up and trust. Once you start doing that, once you start opening up and trusting, that's when things shift. The next step you're going to is the next card, and that is the Master Maker. You are at the very beginning of this process. You are at the beginning of this journey. And you're trying to put this pressure on yourself that you're going to be reading or connecting or working at a level of a seasoned, experienced practitioner when you're just beginning. You have to start at the beginning, not at the middle. It takes time and practice to get to a place where you are a master of your intuition. There's guides there to help you. If you look at this picture, you have the little master with the little lantern that they're holding, and they're not standing alone. They're standing on the head of a helper. So it's talking about when we are masters, when we are the teachers, when we are the gurus, we're not there alone. We're standing on the shoulders of those who went before us. We're standing on the shoulders of our teachers. We can reach higher heights because of the amount of support we have, not because we're doing it alone. We only reach those high heights by standing on the shoulders of those who are willing to teach us and hold us. So all of you who are new, find a teacher, reach out. And that teacher might be spiritual, that teacher might be a book, that teacher might be this podcast. Your intuition will guide you, okay? You will trust that inkling, you will trust that intuitive tingle, and you will be able to know which is the right direction. Does that make sense to you, please? Because we're moving on to the next card. Extasis. That is a great word. I actually have to look this word up. I don't even know what it means. So I'm going to read this card first. And then I want us to together look at the meaning and then go from there. So when I'm looking at this card, what I'm seeing is an idea of centered and expanding, right? I see that deep thread coming down and grounding. I see that auric field channeling down. And not only does this have like wings, but it also reminds me of a tree. It has that branchingness, that reaching outness. So what I want to say to you is, as you move down this path, as you start to trust that intuition, as you start to move towards learning and practicing and getting better at your craft, standing on the shoulders of your mentors and your teachers and becoming the master of your own journey, that you will expand. And what I want to say is the expansion isn't going to look like what you think, right? This almost looks like a metamorphosis, kind of like that bursting out that butterflies do. I get that feeling from the way this card looks, with all the branching and the wingness and how things aren't quite formed, but it's like connected above and below. So I really feel like this card is talking about expansion and empowerment. Okay? Just really being grounded and also being able to connect and reach out to your higher powers and bring that information in. Flying while still being firmly connected to earth, if that makes sense to you. So now I want to look at up the definition of this word, because I don't know what it means. Okay, so I looked this up in Wikipedia, not AI. I try to get a good source. And this is a philosophy term, and I'm just going to try to read it off my phone to you. It means to stand outside oneself, a removal to elsewhere. It's a term used in existential philosophy to mean outside of oneself, outside of one's consciousness. So the definition of the word in philosophy sounds like it's to be connected or outside of that kind of id and connecting with higher consciousness, that you're in that Buddhist state of observer, of sacred observer. And if we apply that to this reading, that knowledge of what this word actually means, and we kind of dive into that, right? We want you as a beginner to stop judging from inside yourself and start looking at your path from that highest self, from that more objective point of view. And I feel like that also colors some of the reading of the first card, the collection of Pixies. I want to apply that to that first card with the whole idea of you need to stop judging the signs you're getting and really see them from an objective point of view, right? You have such a deep connection to what you think your psychic ability should look like, what you believe it should look like to connect to spirit, that you're not seeing the signs that are there. But if you can get to that highest self thinking and that more detached point of view where you're grounded and you're in that sacred observer point, it'll be very, very clear to you what is a sign and what isn't. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this little reading. But because a lot came up around intuition and trusting your intuition, I want to give you all in the Earbud Coven a little exercise to do to get grounded, to get centered, so you can work on building up your intuition, so that you can work on being a better reader and a better psychic and a better witch. The witchy tip I have for you this week to help you grow and expand as a reader is one that I learned from one of my teachers. It is to get a deck. It can be any deck. It can be your current tarot deck. It can be an oracle deck. It can be anything you want. Take a card, just one card, And it can be your favorite card in the deck. If you're a very new reader, sometimes picking your favorite card in the whole deck is great. You don't have to learn them sequentially, right? You can learn any way you want. So pick a card from that deck. Okay, get nice and grounded. I love rituals, so I'm going to tell you to get grounded, do a bit of breath work, maybe light a candle, get your favorite journal out, and then sit with that card. Clear your mind, take a breath, sit with that card. Look at what it has on it, what draws you to it, what makes you like it. Is it the color? Is it a symbol it has? Is it the writing? Like, what is it about that card that you're drawn to? And note it. And then look deeper into the card. What story is happening in the card? What is the card telling you? What pops out the most when you first glance at it? What do you see when you look deeper at the card and longer at the card? Note those things and just write them down or note them. You don't have to write them if that's not how you learn, but make a note of those things. And then from there, once you're finished working with the card personally, decide what it probably means. Decide what you think, the imagery that you're drawn to, the story that you're drawn to, the impressions you get. Decide what that card means to you. And once you've done that, open up the booklet that came with your deck. And now read about the card. Some books are really, really extensive, right? Like some books have a huge story to them, a huge write-up. Some decks will actually describe the artwork and the inspiration for it. Read it. As you're reading, note what stands out to you about this card. What phrasing jumps out at you? What resonates? What do you feel in your belly when you're reading about the artist's intention and the creator's intention of this card? And then sit down and compare your notes to the notes of the deck creator. Where do they mesh? Where do you build off of? What do they have in common, right? This is how you become a very strong reader with your deck. It'll give you insight into your own personal symbology. It'll also prove to you that you do see the meanings in the cards. Because more often than not, you're going to agree with the meaning, right? The deck I read from for you today, I don't typically read from that deck. I have never read the book that came with it. And it's a beautiful, extensive hardcover book. I've never read from it. And I didn't even know what one of the cards actually was called. I had to look that up. But the reading still resonates. And the message still comes through. Because I'm connected and I trust my intuition. I trust my guides. I know that this episode is going to go out into the world and it's going to find those of you who need to hear it. I just know and trust that. So I hope this helps you. I hope that you enjoy the reading and that you take what resonates and leave the rest. And please try, even if you're an experienced reader, grab your favorite deck and look at it again with new eyes. Or grab a deck on your shelf that you bought one day and just haven't really worked with, and just like have a look at it. Go through. Figure out why you don't like the imagery. Figure out what you're missing in that deck. And maybe start a new relationship with it. It is the witch's new year after all. Okay, brightest blessings, my coven. And I'll see you soon.